As they drove down the winding forest road, the GPS led Emily and Sarah further away from civilization. Their plan was to spend a weekend in a secluded cabin, disconnected from the world, and recharge. The trees towered above them, casting long, ominous shadows on the ground. When they arrived at the cabin, it seemed perfect, isolated, surrounded by tall trees and a creek running nearby. But as night began to fall, the atmosphere shifted. The wind picked up, causing the trees to creak and sway. Emily and Sarah settled in by the fireplace, trying to shake off the feeling of being watched. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the cabin. They froze, their hearts racing. "What was that?" Sarah whispered, her eyes wide with fear. Emily tried to reassure her it was just the wind, but deep down, she wasn't so sure. As the night wore on, strange noises continued to plague them, creaks, groans, and faint whispers. The fire crackled, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Emily and Sarah huddled together, their senses on high alert. One particularly loud creak sent them both jumping. "Let's investigate," Emily said, trying to sound braver than she felt. Sarah hesitated, but Emily's determination won out. They grabbed flashlights and ventured into the darkness. The beam from their flashlights danced across the walls as they explored the cabin. Every step seemed to echo through the silence. Suddenly, Emily's light landed on a door hidden behind a curtain. It was slightly ajar, as if someone had recently passed through it. Sarah's grip on Emily's arm tightened. "Let's go back," she whispered urgently. But Emily's curiosity propelled her forward. She pushed the door open, revealing a narrow staircase leading down into darkness. The air emanating from the stairs was cold and damp. Emily's heart pounded in her chest as she began to descend, Sarah reluctantly following. At the bottom, they found a small room filled with old photographs and dusty artifacts. And then they saw it, a photograph of themselves standing in front of the cabin, taken years ago. The realization hit them like a ton of bricks. They weren't alone. Someone had been waiting for them all along. Their flashlights flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. The sound of footsteps echoed down the stairs, growing louder with each passing second. Emily and Sarah knew they had to get out, fast. They stumbled back up the stairs, desperate to escape. But as they reached the top, they realized the door was no longer there. In its place stood a figure, watching them with cold, calculating eyes. The girls turned to run, but their feet felt heavy, as if rooted to the spot. The figure began to move closer, its presence filling the room with an unspeakable horror. Emily and Sarah were paralyzed with fear, unable to escape the terror that had been waiting for them in the darkness.